Within the last couple of years, there's been a lot of really disappointing licensed airsoft guns out there, especially when it comes to handguns. Either the externals or internals aren't up to snuff, and the performance wasn't very good for the price point that they were selling at. It's really interesting to see how SIG will perform now that they are creating their own licensed handguns. Will they fall into the same dilemma, where it's very expensive and not very good? Well, I thought it'd be interesting to take a look at a precursor of the new SIG airsoft guns coming out. So in today's review, we'll be taking a look at the KJW SIG licensed P226. We'll be discussing not only why I like this gun so much, but at the same time discussing what you can do to get your airsoft handgun right, especially a licensed handgun like this one. All of that in today's review. What's up, Airsofters? My name is Lane, and welcome back to the BB Warrior. We're here to help you have a better time both on and off the airsoft field through our educational content. And if you enjoy videos like these, well, I'd love it if you joined our community by hitting that subscribe button down below, and while you're at it, make sure to hit the bell icon next to it for updates when we post brand new videos every single Friday. So I am really excited to take a look at this pistol because honestly, like we mentioned earlier in the video, my hopes aren't very high for the SIG airsoft guns, and something that really has contributed to that is who's going to be making them. Now, SIG claims that they are making them in-house, which wouldn't be too far of a thing to imagine because they make their own air guns, like 177 cal guns. However, they look suspiciously like VFC pistols. They feature a lot of the designs that you only find on VFC pistols, and to add to that confusion, I've seen a lot of retailers advertising that the SIG licensed guns that they have on pre-order will be made by King Arms. Who knows who they're going to be made by? I hope they're made by SIG because that would be pretty interesting to see a real firearms company actually make airsoft guns rather than licensing it out to a middleman like Umarex, Cybergun like SIG used to do. But this is one of those Cybergun made guns. This is again a KJ Works P226. They also offered these in the P229, and while being one of my favorite handgun designs, I really enjoy the P226. I think that this airsoft gun did a lot of things right about it. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a copy of the Tokyo Marui P226. This is going to be parts interchangeable with that, with the WeTech clone as well, so this is not a original design, which you do find on a lot of the newer licensed pistols, like the VFC Glocks through Elite Force. They have a lot of proprietary parts. Some stuff is interchangeable with TM, but not everything. But with this one, it's completely TM spec, which is a good thing because there is a huge part support market for these. It's not as big as high kappas or Glocks, but you can get a lot of parts. You can either get Tokyo Marui OEM, KJW OEM parts are available as well. Same thing with WeTech, the people that make them. But Garter makes parts for these as well. Again, it's not as huge as like a high kappa or anything like that, but if something breaks in this airsoft gun, you can replace it. Unlike, I don't know, the Cybergun FNX45 by VFC, which has horrible part support. I've heard they're getting better, but still, it's always going to be burned in my mind. So let's talk about the actual 226 for a minute for those of you who have never really seen one before. It is a 9mm dual stack pistol. It doesn't really matter in airsoft. They'll shoot 6mm. But it is a completely right-handed gun. There is no ambidextrous controls. So the thing that I like about it and the way that it fits my hand personally are the controls on it. You have a big old 1911 style of magazine release here. That is something I genuinely enjoy. There is no safety on this like a Glock. You have your slide release right here, and I really like that because the way that my hand sits on there, it's right where my thumb can hit it. And then in front of that, you do have a decocker. So because there is no safety, you simply pull that down, and that will drop the hammer without firing it. And then up here, you do have your release lever when you need to take this apart. It comes apart like pretty much any other Tokyo Marui airsoft pistol. The hop-up is adjusted by taking the slide off, that sort of thing. Now, what I really like about these is that they do some things that not a lot of companies do anymore. Something that KJ Works does that I really applaud them for is the magazines. Now, they do not make extended mags for these, so if that's what you're looking for, take a look at high kappas, take a look at Glocks, things like that. But what I really like about what KJ did specifically, and I don't think that we or Tokyo Marui ever did this, they not only make green gas magazines, which this does come with a 26-round green gas magazine, they also offer CO2. Think about it for a minute. When's the last time that you saw a pistol that was dual source available on the airsoft market? Nothing really comes to mind for me except for, like aftermarket support for Glocks and high kappas and things like that. So while this gun doesn't have like a huge accessory, you can't really pimp this out like a high kappa, there are replacement parts, there are upgrade parts available through companies like Garter, like I mentioned. It's just they did everything right. I think what I want to really make clear about the P226 from KJ Works is that it's a simple pistol, but they did everything right. It's not flashy, it doesn't have a lot of like interesting design features, there's nothing truly innovative about this pistol, but I think that they did everything that they need to right. And having dual power sources is one of those things I wish that more companies would adopt, because if you're a person like me, I live in upstate New York, it's winter right now. It's maybe 15 degrees outside. Give it 6 months when we are in, June, July, it's going to be 95 and humid. When you're using this pistol, you're going to find that it's really easy to hit targets from 100 to about 140 to 150 feet or so. That's about where I'd put the max range of this pistol with the stock hop-up. Again, there are aftermarket parts that you can use for these to try to extend it, but without extended mags available, really, I don't see a lot of people using this as their primary, except for maybe a game or two, and they're getting tired at the end of the day, like I like to do personally. But overall, I really like this pistol, and while SIG is coming out with their own line of airsoft guns, if you want this airsoft gun, they are still available. What I'm afraid is going to happen is what happened to the G36. If you remember, probably about like 3 or 4 years ago when Umarex announced that they're going to be making G36s, all the other G36s just appeared on the market. And that's kind of what I'm afraid of, at least here in the US, for these KJW-made SIG pistols. So if you'd like to pick one of these up, again, they make them in the P226 like I have. The P229 is available as well, and I'm sure there's a couple of other SIG models floating around out there. I would highly recommend checking out not only this gun from KJ, but all of the other guns. They make really solid airsoft guns. I think that they're one of those companies that really doesn't get the credit that they deserve, because they don't do anything innovative, but they do everything right. That's something that I've always noticed about KJ, is that you're not going to find a bad product from KJ. And I think that honestly, they have one of the best gas blowback rifles out there with their KCO2. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it was a little bit different. It was kind of a hybrid between a discussion and a review. I kind of felt like Ian from Forgotten Weapons, because this pistol could no longer exist in the very near future. So if you'd like to pick one up, there is tons of part support out there. They're still going to have the magazines, the parts, things like that. So I would highly recommend picking up one of these airsoft guns if you enjoy SIGs, or if you just want a licensed airsoft pistol that is going to last. I mean, I've had this gun for 4 years. I'm the second owner of it. I mean, this pistol I've carried this pistol longer than I've been doing the BB Warrior, to put it in perspective. I love it, it holds up, and if something ever did break, the parts are available. So I would wholeheartedly recommend this pistol or anything else from KJ Works if you are interested. If you'd like to see more videos like these, taking a look at older, kind of forgotten airsoft guns, I would absolutely love to do it if you guys would be interested. So make sure to let me know down in those comments below. But that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for staying until the end of today's video. I hope that you enjoyed. If this was your first time here, I'd love it if you joined our community. Hit that subscribe button down below, and while you're at it, make sure to hit the bell icon next to it for updates. We post brand new videos every single Friday here on the channel. This has been Lane from the BB Warrior talking about the Sig Sauer P226 by KJW, and I will see you all next time.